What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Bird. Bird is the word. I'm going to keep saying that because it just works. I could call him Birdo. I mean, I do feel like it is Birdo, but, you know, he forgot the dough. So now he's Bird is the word. His opponent today in the disgusting Gaia lush environment. His name is Kvoth, and he is indeed playing Gaia because you can't have Gaia lush unless you are indeed Gaia. See how I make sense of this stuff? Very exciting times to be sure. We're on the map Oasis. We've got ourselves a 4 zebra spawn, which is one of the more perfect spawns that you can have. Very, very fun time to have. Obviously, five zebra spawns is better, but if you're an Atlantean player, you want 4 zebra because it means it hurts your opponent a little bit more. However, problem being that we do have ourselves a Poseidon here who's got lure, which means he's going to be able to drag in his monkeys. He's going to be able to drag in his giraffe, which are going to be where there are giraffe over here. So it's 2 giraffe spawn as well. So he might even steal his opponent's giraffe as well, as Kvoth is just scouting all over the map, getting all those goats. It's a funny one. Like, who actually has the advantage in this map? You get three oracles, 3 scouts to run around the map and get goat. Whereas the Kvoth is just 1, but he is significantly faster. He is not 3 times faster, the oracles though, but the oracles have got much less line of sight. So really, which one would you prefer? Let me know in the old comments below as to, like, if regardless of civilization, just like which scout do you reckon is the best? Maybe that can be the next poll. Good idea. All right, so we got the temple coming up now for Bird, throwing down his house as well. Doing all the good stuff. And Kvoth over here eating all of this up. It looks like he might actually need to go to secondary hunt somewhere. Though I actually wouldn't be surprised to see on this specific map, maybe Kvoth going to town center here. Now let's talk a little bit about why Gaia is good on this style of Oasis. Low hunt means what? Means you have to farm. If you have to farm, meaning that you can get yourself early flood control, means your food economy is going to be here. Your opponent's food economy is going to be here. This means you can get to the Mythic Age, you can get to the Heroic Age, Mythic Age, Titan Age first as Gaia. So the whole entire point here is that Gaia is going to get to the Mythic Age, the Heroic Age first, and is going to do mean things to her opponent. Now, that all being said, Poseidon here, lots of go. He's like, Bird has 110% 1 out on the goat gathering adventure here in this game. And it does look like he's going for a 2 town center. That's what it seems like. It looks like he's going for a 2 town center play here, as we do see the storehouse coming up now for Bird. Leto coming through for Kvoth. No real surprise there. And that's a surprise if I've ever seen one. I like it. I'm not disliking it, but a surprise nonetheless. Not only has Bird stolen Kvoth's giraffe away from him with lure, but he's also stolen Kvoth's giraffe away with villagers to boot. He does walk into his opponent's base, sees the gold mine slightly exposed. Could be an idea to go with. Ares here, and that is exactly what Bird is going to be doing. He has a temple at home. It's going to be a late Ares though, 5:30ish, maybe a little bit earlier than 5:30ish. But he's going Ares. I don't know if I like this one bit from Bird. I don't think you actually can win in this position with Ares, but he's going to do his best. And we do see that the giraffe over here has been spotted. The villagers are going to wander over there as well. Relic here is the Trojan Gate Hinge, an extra 20% wall hit points. There's another relic over on the bottom corner of the map, the System of Bast, which makes your villagers 10% cheaper. That is 5 food cheaper for the vanilla civilizations for those of you playing at home, and about 12.5 food cheaper for the Atlantean civilians. As the villagers now moving over here, Bird's getting himself his second town center with the Ares. This is interesting. I take it all back. This is less crazy than I thought it was going to be. However, the Oracle here is going to be spotting these villagers as the granary going to be coming. Ooh, I don't know if it actually did there. It might have spotted the villagers. I'm not sure. The idea of Ares here is simply just going to be to cast Pestilence in this base of Bird, prevent the units from coming out so that the town center comes up free, and it kind of acts as a little bit of a ceasefire in the early stages of the game. So that's cool where that's concerned. We see the Theseus there attempting to take down the Automaton. Nice micro from Kvoth as Bird going to be retreating away. These villagers here do decide that that giraffe is not worth hanging on to, and he's going to head back home. But what Bird is saying here is, if a Poseidon goes 2 town centers in this matchup, the Gaia player goes 3 town centers, and oftentimes we see some sort of a late game here. So this is going to be some sort of a late game. I'm excited. So it's going to be a bit of a boom off, and you can learn a lot about our players' boom by watching these sorts of games. Over here, we've got the spider eggs coming down. Kvoth does very much favor putting 2 villagers onto a town center at once here. As the Mamilo are still kind of everywhere. We don't have any military buildings down just yet for Bird, as he can't really afford it. And he's also going to have to think about farms at some point, though he does have a whole bunch of these goat here. And the big question is going to be, how easy is defending this town center going to be for Bird? He's bringing his automatons back. The Cyclops coming in, and this just might be the entire reason for Ares. Go to town center, use the Cyclops to bash the town center down because of all of that crush damage that he has. He's going to do a whole bunch of damage to this one. Bring the heroes in, Jason, Theseus, enough to deal with those automatons so that the Cyclops can just do that damage as Hippolyta is going to be moving in here, and then prevent the town center from going up. The eggs don't do anything. The town center here is going to start getting whacked, and these 2 villages here that seemingly putting up the town center very, very quickly gonna basically be idled for just a little bit longer. Hero Terma coming in to start throwing javelins at that Cyclops, who's going to live for a very, very long time here. But as the automatons do come in, Bird just says, well, got that little bit of damage done. Cyclops down, but town center has been slowed just a little bit. And now we see that 3rd town center coming down for Kvoth, as he is now finishing up on those pigs. We'll have to start thinking about farms very shortly, but I'm sure he knows about that. As the farm's coming down for Bird, look at these farm placements. I love it. I love it. Guys, I love it. There's another thing you can do here, which Bird is doing actually really, really nicely, is you can put your goats on top of your farms before they die. And then you're going to be able to gather from that area underneath the town center, unobstructed, and your farms aren't going to delete your own goats, and you're going to live the dream. So that's one way to get around this. On EE, your farms don't delete your goats, but it's one way to get around the whole goat issue. And you don't necessarily even have to be on these farms at this point. You can just jump back onto the goats and be completely fine here, having just thrown them down. And then once the goats are all gone, you can put those villagers onto the pre-built farms. As now we've got the Mermillo wandering through here, going to attempt to take down the temple here. Kvoth has his town center up here. 3rd town center just about to come up. Farms coming down for Kvoth as well. He's got himself plow. Irrigation will come through as soon as he can afford it, I'm sure. The walls coming up all across the map here is Bird has got one idea and one idea alone here. He wants to get to the Mythic Age. I assume he's going straight to the Heroic Age here. He has not thrown down many military buildings at all here. He's got himself a stable, but there's a second stable. But he's really not going heavy on military at all. He's just going to get straight to Aphrodite. I'm so confused. I like the farm placement. Don't get me wrong. You can throw these farms up now if you're concerned about the farm transition, but you do not need to be on the farms. The goats gather so much faster, and it really does level the difference between a Gaia farm with plow, then irrigation, then flood control. It levels that difference quite nicely, but Bird slowing his food economy down considerably here by being on farms for sure. But now we've got Kvoth now looking for some raids. More walls coming up as the villagers are onto this gold mine over here. And Kvoth now breaking through this wooden wall. Are we seeing irrigation? Yes, we are. And effectively, Kvoth has got to ask himself a couple of questions. Like, one, do I go to thrower cage now? Two, do I flood units? And I think the answer most of the time is going to be, just go heroic age, just go mythic age. Your opponent's going to probably spam units out in the heroic age most of the time here, especially if you throw a couple of units into the threat. We'll see if that's what Bird's going to do, especially because he doesn't have ceasefire. He's going to have that safety there. And you're probably not going to be getting hit with a 2 town centers semi-fast mythic timing here most of the time, as we're seeing some military buildings getting thrown down for Kvoth. He does have himself channels here, so it's a speedy villager at 3.9 speed. I think most of the time actually, it's worth it to heroize this citizen that you do send forward, because it makes him faster, makes him stronger, and all the other good stuff. And we do see this military barracks getting thrown up on the settlement as well, which will spread that Gaia Lush onto this location, meaning that Bird's going to have to deal with that one as well. We see the... Oh, that's brutal. Ah. Curse hitting a citizen. Oh, you hate to see it. That's so big. Hits that citizen. Gets seven kills there with that curse. Absolutely huge. Volcanic Forge coming through for Kvoth. Kvoth about to advance. And not only that, look at Bird's resources here. Market is up. Mythic Age is on the way. Flood control coming through here for Kvoth. But Bird is about to click up to the Mythic Age, which means 1330. 1330 Mythic Age, just before 1320 Mythic Age, 2 town center, fast Mythic here. Is Bird going to be smart here? And I say this because I've made this mistake a couple of times myself. You make yourself a fortress here, and you go in with infantry, cavalry, Heliopoli. Not pure Heliopoli like me. Don't be dumb. Make yourself some units as well, and mix in those Heliopoli with it, and you're going to have such a ridiculously strong army for this point in the game, for the reason that Heliopoli are simply just the strongest unit in the game, the most value unit in the game. We see a temple coming up on the front here for Kvoth as he's pulling back over his cheeky spider eggs here, taking down those units as the Nemean line there is going to get chopped up. The problem really, as we do see a Pegasus here for Bird, is that there's going to be an earthquake in the base of Bird, and there's not a whole lot he can do to stop it. As Kvoth is just going to be sitting in this heroic age for a little while. He hasn't thrown down a forward palace just yet. I'd love to see him attempt to get a palace up on this position, but there he goes with it, but it's a little bit too close to the fortress, it would seem. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get it up or not. Bird's at 91 of 130 population. The spider eggs getting thrown down here, deleting that palace, coming just a little bit back, trying to deny the fortress of Bird as he's thrown it up kind of in the middle here as the Hippaspis swinging around. This is not necessarily a bad thing for Bird, as we do see that earthquake on this position here. You'd think this is a good earthquake, but in reality, doesn't do a whole lot. But Bird is the word. He's throwing down a side build here. Going to be attempting to send some units in onto this position. The automatons here are going to start getting taken down very quickly by Atlanta. That damage there. And we do have ourselves 6 citizen attempting to build this town center back up at this point, as we're also seeing Quarry coming through. The units here have not come out for Bird, and he is probably not going to be denying this town center just yet. It would seem the villager wandering through. There's also these cheeky Gaia, Leto spider eggs that are here, and we've got a Dryad coming through to clean these villagers up. so that Bird cannot defend here. Meanwhile, units moving back and forth here on this position. Stymphalian Bird flying overhead. More military buildings getting thrown down here in the side. I'd love to see some side builds coming through here for Kvoth now that his resources are starting to grow. Yes, he does want to get to the Mythic Age first before he starts wasting too many villagers on those builds there. So we see the hoplite getting taken down. The town center is up, and we've got some of those pesky Hetyroi coming out for Bird. Not only that, we've got the Chimera looking for some snipes here. Very, very scary unit, that is for sure. Kvoth's resources there, and he has decided to go through Atlas. Atlas is arguably better in nearly every single situation than Heke, and you should most of the time always be going Atlas with Gaia. As we do see the units now moving forward, the town center attempting to come up here for Bird as he wants to kind of level the playing field here. But with implode that's going to come through, this town center is going to be a difficult one to hold on to. And effectively here, I think that Kvoth needs to think about transferring or transitioning into Contarius or Destroyer Arcus here, as he is making some destroyers. But those Murmillo are effectively useless here, as we do see the army here of Kvoth trying to swing around, as he does see this wooden wall here as he catches that one out. But the Chimera moving in here. We've got the hero Murmillo getting created to turn around and take down this Chimera, as he does turn onto this one. That's going to be getting taken out very, very fast. Town center is up over here. Palace does end up going down, as Kvoth has not managed to make his way through here nicely at all, as he has to come over here and deal with these side builds that Bird is throwing up. And here comes some more damage onto these wooden walls, trying to break through, trying to hit the gold mine. There are gold mines kind of all over the place here for Bird, so it's not the biggest of deals if he has to pull back, but he does make some units here. They're still completely unupgraded, so I'll see if he's ever going to start thinking about getting any other upgrades for those, as there's the Atlas. And will we see that implode? Yes, we do. Pulling away with his units here out of the range of said implode. Going to pick these units off as well. That Polyphemus is just so hilarious looking as the implode comes through. Does not do that much damage to Bird at all, but Bird has got a metric shit ton of resources in the bank. What is he saving up for is the question, as now Kvoth is going to try and push back in, try and throw a forward palace up to pick off this Polyphemus really, really quickly. Over here, the units here getting taken down, the villagers getting pulled off that gold mine. The pacifist able to take down the hero Murmillo fairly easily. Need to get that automaton dealt with over there, but no micro as of this moment here, as the Argus coming in to help out. The automatons taking down that fortified town center. Forward palace here just about to come up again. Make some hero citizen. I'm gonna keep saying it. I mean, Kvoth is playing this incredibly well. I'm just saying that one thing that would improve upon every single Gaia player's state of mind is going to be hero citizen on your front. Well worth the investment, that is for sure. But we're going to continue chopping down those trees there, get out some of that siege, and Bird is just not able to spend his resources at this point. I'm not sure what's going on. He is making himself Petropolis here instead of making those lovely, lovely Heliopoli. He's going for some side raids over here, as the Theseus is a little bit confused about where he wants to be, but he's there. And we just see the raids now onto those villages on that position. But town center seemingly looking like it's falling. Nice micro from Kvoth there, running his Argus away here. You see the Polyphemus getting taken out, villagers getting picked off. Nice snipe there on that. Hypaspist is still low on the population. It's seemingly Bird is, as the Fire Siphon going to be coming out to take this one down. And guess what? You lose this town center. You cannot rebuild it. You have to take down the palace first, because it is in range, it seems, of this town center. I could be wrong. Can't exactly see or not, but it's very close nonetheless. Well, Petropolis here is trying to deal with this one right now, but the Argus comes in on the back. Actually does a ton of damage to the Petropolis. Much more than you'd expect at 20 damage per second there. And there goes the town center. As the Argus gets taken out. Double palace up on the front. Fire Siphon moving in. Bird now 0 resources in the bank. Still looking for some raids. Still trying to push off gold. There's still this gold mine over here. Not only that, we've got those max speed llama caravans. Speediest boys ever. Look at them zoom. They are zooming. Channels plus coinage, and they go fast. And now we see the army retreating back into the home position here, as Bird is trying to figure out a way here to defend and get back into this game over here. Moving on to this gold mine, the two lions saying, I'm not happy about you mining gold on this location. We've been defending this, and I want to continue defending it. Yes. Now we see, there's the hero citizen we were talking about. Yes, yes, yes. And the thing that is bonkers broken, and not necessarily bonkers broken, but the thing that is incredibly strong about Hero Citizen is armor upgrades apply to Citizen. So he's got 50% pierce armor, meaning they're as strong as a Huskar. They've got 40% hack armor, meaning they're as strong as, I'll insert whatever you feel like that has 40% hack armor here. And they're as strong as an elephant, because they've got 243 HP, or they're as strong as a champion hippocon, for example. Incredibly crazy strong. Town center just about up now for Kvoth, as the Chimera retreating away here. And if Kvoth gets this town center, he goes up to 4 town centers. He continues to create this trade route that is perfectly placed. We see these units over here have pushed off that gold mine, but it's not going to be enough. If he gets this town center up, I don't know exactly what Bird can do to get it back. He is making himself a whole butt ton of these Chimera, but they are very low HP. One more of them is very low HP. So Bird's going to have to figure out where he wants to go with those. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kvoth like spreading his lush more, getting some walls up to kind of make his base a little bit safer. So you do see the army now set on maybe trying to take these llama caravans down. But guess what? He's going to see them, and he's not going to be able to chase them very easily. That is for sure. But Chimera then, oh, big Chimera fire breath there onto that Arcus ball. As another Chimera coming in here. He needs to wait 20 seconds to get that special ability off, and he does do that. Boom. So many dead Arcus there. But our Gaia player Kvoth here, 170 population still. Tower's now coming up on this position to hold on. Heliopolis here trying to take down this Dryad as best as he possibly can. But for some reason, the Dryad has 99% crush armor. Why? It's a myth unit. Should have 80%. Nerf incoming. You see the Petropolis now targeting down the palace. And the Arcus now attempting to, I would say, snipe down these villages as best as he can. But the Fire Siphon moving through, going after the fortress, preventing the siege from doing anything here. As we do see, a very sneaky by Bird as a villager coming over here to check out what's going on. Is there any fortress over here, though? He's going to attempt to place this one over here. Super sneaky by Bird. And not only that, Bird is going for the side build to prevent this trade route from existing. But you have to kind of wall all the way around this. This is a very difficult place to wall. The Dryad going to miss this one as well, as there goes that first wall. That's going to be a little bit of an issue there for Kvoth to deal with, but Kvoth does notice it, bringing his Dryad back to defend. He is a very quick player, that is for sure. Metropolis falling here, towers falling, gold situation still okay for Bird. He's throwing walls everywhere. Throwing up this fortress going to take a very long time to get that one up, but once he gets it in here and he can start sieging this location, going to be a pretty different story here, as Kvoth's going to keep getting his upgrades, lots of resources in the bank, bronze mail coming through as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see champion infantry fairly soon as well for Kvoth, as another Chimera coming in here is going to get taken down incredibly quick. As there's the Chimera going down. We've got the Atlanta swinging in here for Bird, as those Paspists doing a whole bunch of damage here. We've got the Polyphemus coming in to try and help. Kvoth absolutely making mincemeat of that army there, as the Fire Siphon move in to take the military academies down. Bird's trying to get this up, but not able to. We've got the walls actually have managed to come up, and they have managed to force a delete of a market, but little does little does Bird know, another market is up. This one's going to be much harder to put a stop to, but the gold grabbed him much lower now. However, we've got Army in the main base of Bird as he is still desperately trying to hold on here. These donkey caravans getting taken down. The fire siphons wandering in here. Will we see more palace getting thrown up? I think we will, as the palace spam is absolutely mighty here from Kvoth. Look at these palace. 5 palace in one screen, plus a town center and a Hesperus tree. That's absolutely bonkers. It just goes to show how many resources the Gaia player has here. He's throwing down more military buildings as he's moving forward. Fire siphon coming in. We might start seeing some of those forward towers coming up as well for Bird. But the Petropolis is out here, and this town center is now going to start getting taken down. But guess what? He's got architects. He's got Titan Shield. He's got fortified town center. This town center is strong. But there's nothing over here to help defend this one just yet. So he needs to get something here. Maybe a palace, maybe something else. I don't know. Walls coming back in. We do have a Polyphemus here to help defend as well. But maybe it doesn't really matter, because taking down this town center and losing this town center, that's a big enough deal. That is a big enough deal. As we do see the villagers getting pulled off, taking down those fire siphons, and Arcus taking these out. And in that moment, Bird does decide to tap out. Kvoth getting the win, demonstrating the Gaia supremacy that is currently on display. What a game here from Kvoth, managing to put a very strong stop to the fast mythic there from Bird. I think if Bird didn't throw that fortress up so aggressively, just kind of said, all right, I'm going to pull back a little bit, maybe just get my army composition out, then he can push through, then he can take this back. The Gaia buildings, while they're strong, they're not that big of a deal if you do have Heliopoli and not Toxotes. So you can go for this strategy into Heliopoli, Hoplite, Hippocon. That's the composition with the heroes as well, and you can just push through whatever the Gaia player is doing in that position. But a really nice game from Kvoth nonetheless, showing how strong it is to be a flood control Gaia citizen, Atlantean citizen in this game. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.